Hello and welcome to the TigerCreate 2 tutorial series. I will tell you now how to set up the system to create Android apps. First, start TigerCreate 2 and go to the Preferences. The Publishing tab is the one we need now. Here is a field for the publishing tools. Please create a folder in any place you like, for example in the Documents folder. Let's call it TC2 Tools, and I create it. And now I say use this as Support Tools folder. Now tools will be downloaded inside of this folder here. For Android, we first need to install the Java 8 JDK. Start Terminal and check if you already have Java installed. There's no Java runtime present. Okay, so follow the link here. I close the publishing window and download the Java 8 JDK. So let's use the correct one. I of course accept the license agreement and download the Mac OS version JDK 8. It should be downloaded shortly. It's downloaded. I start the installer. Double-click the icon and continue with the installation. And that's it. I close Safari. Now let's try again. Java version. We have the Java version installed, version 1.80151. That's fine for us. In TigerCreate 2, let's go again to the Preferences. We did the first step, now to the second step. Download and install Android Studio. Download Android Studio for Mac. I of course accept the terms and conditions. And the installation starts with downloading the DMG file. Here you can see the steps that are needed to take to install everything. I double-click on the downloaded DMG. It gets verified and then opened. Here it is. I drag the Android Studio inside of the Applications folder. Next step, as described, is to launch the Android Studio. Go to Applications, look for Android Studio, and double-click it. Yes, of course. Please open. I close the application window. I don't want to import any settings. and Android Studio is started. Next, standard, use default theme because we are not using it anyhow. And here are the different components that are downloaded. The SDK platform 27, that's the current one today. Finish, start downloading. It may take a while to not get bored. Look at the details, lots of stuff happening, but I guess it will take long enough for you to take a cup of coffee or tea, whatever you prefer. Sometimes you might have to put in your administrator password. With administrator privileges, you can install this. And that's it. You can now close the Android Studio. And Safari. Make a new Finder window and use Go Home. And if there's no library folder displayed, use View, Show Few Options, and check Show Library Folder. Now inside of the library folder, there's the installed Android SDK with all the tools. Your next step is to connect this, to put this into TigerCreate 2. Open the preferences again, and you see select Android file inside of the Android SDK. I already did this, but I do it again. From the library folder, it's your user. From the library folder, you look for Android SDK and Tools, and select Android. Open. And now you need to set the path to the Android SDK location. It's library, your user, library, Android SDK. Use open. And now this is correctly set up. To clean up, remove the installers. And close TigerCreate 2. Now we have to create the Android keystore file to codesign our Android apps. To start this, open up Safari or any browser and search for Android developer create keystore. Select sign your app. We want to do this manually, to create the keystore manually. So scroll down a bit. Here, build it manually. This is what we need. Copy it, put it into the text editor, and correct this by putting it into one line. Don't forget the space character here. I always do a format make plain text. Okay, so this is the command for the terminal. Here you can put in your alias. Let's call it my test alias. You can call it any way you like. And this is the keystore file that is created, the Java keystore. Sometimes this will be called just .keystore, but nowadays it's called .jks. Now open up Terminal. Switch to the folder where you want to create your keystore file. Let's look where we are in root. So let's go to the Documents folder. And here we create the keystore file. I copy this, put it in here. Let's clear the screen first. Here it is. I press enter. Now I have to enter a password. You will not see it while typing. Don't get confused. I call it test, the password. Test. It's too short, must be at least 6 characters. Okay, test 2017. Test 2017. What's your first and last name? Test. My organizational unit, test. Organization, test. It's in test city, test province. 2-letter country code, TE. And yes, this is correct. Here, enter the key password for my test alias. I just press enter, should be the same as the keystore password. So it's test 2017. So here's a warning. Use a proprietary format. It is recommended to migrate to PKCS12. No, we don't do that. We don't want it in a way. ls-la. And here you see it's my release key.jks. That's the key store we wanted to create. You can see it in Finder in your documents too. Put it in a place where you will not lose it. You just need one key store for all your Android apps that you will release. So put it on a safe place. Remember the passwords and the key alias name, and you're fine. In the next tutorial, we will set up the first app for Android to release it in the Google Play Store. Goodbye.